Between 2021 and 2023, Anthony Rendon, the man paid $245 million, logged less than 40% of the Angels' total games played, a failure rate that statistically overshadowed the combined value of Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani in those crucial years. That massive financial anchor wasn't just a matter of poor injury luck, it was a black hole that systematically devoured their competitive window. And now, finally, after years of agonizing inertia, that anchor is being cut loose. The curse is lifted, the money is flowing again, and the Angels finally have room to breathe. If you're ready to dissect the seismic organizational shift happening right now in Anaheim, you've come to the right place. Welcome to 604 News Now. The news broke like a thunderclap across the baseball world. Rendon's contract restructuring or departure reported, and within hours, maybe even minutes, the Angels immediately signed reliever Kirby Yates, a former Dodger, to a one-year deal.
The speed of this action tells you everything. The local media weren't just relieved, they were euphoric, viewing Yates as the immediate physical manifestation of the club's new financial flexibility. As one local reporter, Masaaki Ishikawa, framed it, it was the best day for the Angels organization since the calendar flipped. The simultaneous reports were no coincidence. It was Perry Manassian sending a loud message. The funds are unlocked and we are moving.
Ishikawa noted that the signing of Yates, despite the reliever struggling last season, instantly fills a desperate bullpen void, a vacuum created when they lost key components, and their veteran southpaw reinforcement, Drew Pomeranz, just wasn't enough to stabilize a unit whose save percentage had been the third worst in the American League West over the last 2 years.
Yates potentially steps in as the opening day closer, providing the veteran presence they desperately lacked after Kenley Jansen left the division. But Yates is only the first piece. The media narrative is already intensely pressuring GM Manassian not to stop here, demanding further acquisitions now that the Rendon burden, which the local press often referred to as the 6 billion yen nightmare, has been solved.
The need for a competent third baseman remains glaring, and this is where the conversation turns towards NPB star Kazuma Okamoto. While the Pirates and Padres have shown interest, the consensus among Anaheim insiders is that the Angels must be the most aggressive bidder, leveraging their sudden fiscal freedom to land a legitimate power bat at the hot corner. They must not squander this fresh start. But let's be blunt about the deeper significance of the Rendon saga, because it extends far beyond a third base hole or bullpen inadequacy. It is a profound lesson in organizational malpractice. It's the counterfactual that haunts the Angels fan base. What if that monumental salary had been utilized elsewhere? Our source, veteran baseball writer Kenji Sato, put it succinctly. This contract wasn't just a misallocation of funds, it was organizational cancer. Rendon's total WAR since 2021 hovered around 1.5. You paid him $245 million for 1.5 WAR. That's unforgivable, especially when you consider how one single non-productive superstar can neutralize the combined superhuman efforts of Trout, Ohtani, and the entire team. The most painful sting, the dramatic climax of this analysis, involves Shohei Ohtani. Had the Angels not been weighed down by this colossal non-performing asset, they could have presented Ohtani with an infinitely better, more aggressive contract offer, one that might have tipped the scales and kept the two-way phenom in Anaheim. It symbolizes how the presence of one disastrous monster employee in an organization can throw every gear out of alignment, causing total system failure. The subsequent low performance of the Angels was not just bad luck, it was the inevitable outcome of a system sabotaged by a massive, immovable anchor. Now, I can already hear the counter-argument forming, the defense often raised for players in Rendon's situation. But injuries are part of the game. You can't blame him for bad luck. And here is where we must draw the sharp line between ability and character. Rendon demonstrated a complete lack of urgency and preparation that went beyond standard injury protocol. This is the lesson he provides as a cautionary tale for all of MLB and NPB. When signing players, you must consider not only their physical talent, but their mental fortitude and work ethic. A player who collects millions while openly stating they don't love baseball, who appears physically unprepared for the rigors of the season year after year, fundamentally fails the character test. The Angels are equally culpable. They signed the contract, so they deserve half the blame. This incident should accelerate the demise of the guaranteed 8 to 10-year mega contract. Teams must pivot to shorter deals, maybe 3 years maximum, to protect themselves from this exact financial catastrophe, regardless of what the Players Association dictates. But there is a final, fascinating plot twist to consider, one that offers a glimmer of hope and removes some of the direct blame from current management. The long-standing rumor that the Rendon acquisition was essentially a mandate from owner Arte Moreno. If this contract was indeed acquired under Moreno's direct order, then the wasted money, the massive payout, and the failure of the team falls squarely on the owner himself, not necessarily Manasian. The local media are suggesting this is a huge silver lining. Moreno is effectively paying for his own past mistakes, and now Manasian gets a clean slate and newfound cash flow. It means that the long-awaited opportunity to build a balanced, functional roster finally exists without the shadow of the owner's impulse buys looming over every transaction. The Yates signing is just the beginning. They must now aggressively pursue the third base solution, whether that is Okamoto or another high-impact player, to prove that this organization can, in fact, move on and thrive. The relief is palpable, but the work has only just begun. We've learned a painful lesson today. Never let a financial mistake dictate your future. Hit that like button, share this explosive analysis with every fan, and subscribe to 604 News Now right now. And tell me in the comments, if Rendon's contract vanishes completely, what is the first power move Perry Manasian must make next? Okamoto? Another ace? Let me know.